Okay. We're recording the session. None of you will be in it. It is just for my own purpose. So yes, I mean my personal journey into Bhagavad Gita has been, sometimes you discover something that you find that you just want to dedicate your energy to it, to understand it, to uncover the wisdom in it. And then it's like Alice in Wonderland, no? Once you go down the rabbit hole, you feel like, oh my God, I want to share it. So that's where we are right now. I don't consider myself as a teacher. I actually think that we are all seekers, going wherever we are in our life to, in our own roundabout way, to hopefully a higher and higher place. So it's an honor. Thank you for joining me today. And the project, hi Karan. And what I call this project is a song of 7 dolls. What those 7 dolls are, that's what we will, see today. I expect this to be an interactive session. So I don't want just me talking. I want a lot of energy from you also. So questions, reflections, sharing, I think that is what will make this session really magical. So with that, I think we are now ready to start. Let's go. First of all, I'll do a little prayer and some acknowledgements before we start. This is our first session and we'll have a series of sessions. What you see here are what we will cover during the next 5 sessions after this session. So the goal for me has been like to tell the story of Bhagavad Gita in through 18 visuals. 18 is a holy number in Bhagavad Gita, but that's just a numerical number for now. We'll start with a prayer. It's a prayer and invocation that is usually not done before Bhagavad Gita, but in the spirit of how we are together, it is from Yajurveda. It brings in this spirit of Upanishads where people are all studying together. And the prayer goes like this. Om Sehna Vavatu Sehnau Bhunaktu Seh Viryam Karvavahi Tejasvi Navadatu Ma Vidvishavahi. It is a dialogue between two people where one says to the other, may we both move together. May we both nourish each other. May we both learn together. May we not complain and fight with each other. May we lift each other up. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. There are a few people I would like to acknowledge also today. Harpreet, my wife, is here. My 2 wonderful kids, Meher and Meera. Thank you. Sanju, say hello. Sanju has been, the motive force behind a lot of this project for the last, I would say, 6 months or 9 months at least, if not more. Dwarki sir, he is the artist behind the artwork that you see here. Ajay sir, who has been so generous sharing this space with us. Thank you, Ajay sir. And lastly, but not the least, my Guru, Sri Ramakrishna. And all the teachers and the monks. And I have an army of them who have been such a big influence and really an inspiration behind this work. What we will do today is a study of Bhagavad Gita from the perspective of Shankaracharya's non-dual Vedanta. So non-dual Vedanta is a mouthful if this is the first time you're hearing it, but it is the philosophy of oneness. The one that makes us all whole, that we see in difference right now, which is an illusion. The philosophy of Advaita, which means not two, just one, is the philosophy that we will approach the text today. There are many philosophies by which we can understand Bhagavad Gita, but my heart goes to Shankara's Advaita non-dual philosophy of oneness. So, now we start. Enough marketing, enough building up, now we will go. At its heart, Bhagavad Gita is a text of self-inquiry. The big question, who am I? In Hindi, मैं कौन हूँ? And every question that we have is a derivative of that who am I question only. What is my duty in life? What is my purpose in life? What is meaningful work to do? How do I love? What is knowledge? What is the nature of peace? Death, supposedly the biggest fear we have. What happens once we die? What is this world we are living in? Question of belongingness, our place, purpose are all in this world only for the most part. Who knows what spirituality is if there's a world beyond this? Krishna says there is. But for the most part, this world and our place in it is a big question. What is moksha? Big word. What is liberation? These are all the questions that if we dive deeper into who am I, it's like an onion, we start wrestling with those questions, and life has a habit of asking us these questions at various different points in our life. Now, the way I look at Bhagavad Gita is that it describes a game, a play. A play that all of us are choicelessly playing because we are born. But like most other games, most other games are us versus them. There are always at least two people, two teams or two parties playing a game. But Gita reframes that us versus them game as us versus us. There is no two in this game, there is only one. All of us, whoever is playing this game from their perspective. So, the context of Gita is that there is a war happening. The war of Mahabharata, the big war. And there are two opposing armies. Does everybody know the war of Mahabharata in the context? No? Okay. Well, very quickly, so it's an Indian epic, and they're fighting, the two sets of cousins are fighting over the usual things. Kingdom, fame, power, money, same things that we happen today also. The not so good team is called the Kauravas. There are 100 brothers. And the good team is called the Pandavas. And our hero, Arjuna, is one of the Pandavas. And he's a very skillful warrior. It's not his first rodeo or a first war. He's done many wars in his life before, but this is his biggest stage. He signed up for it, fighting a war with the evil cousins called Kauravas. But just as the war is happening, about to start, the conches have been blown, everybody is arrayed, weapons have been drawn. It's a big moment. Our hero starts getting fearful. He wants to run away. And in this very poignant moment, he says to Krishna, who is his charioteer. Everybody's heard of Krishna? Who's not heard of Krishna? Everyone has. Good. So, in that moment when the war is about to start, he sees his friends on both sides, brothers on both sides. He sees his teachers on both sides and he says, I don't want to fight. He tells Krishna, my body is trembling. My skin is burning. My mind is whirling. My bow, this bow that he has, it is slipping out of my hand. I cannot stand straight. And he confesses, I'm fearful. I want to run away. But while his breakdown is dramatic and you feel bad for the hero, it could be any one of us, no, not having that big breakdown, but as I said, in this one player simulation called life, life also keeps on asking newer and newer questions. We are all have different circumstances, our life changes, we have different circumstances and we respond to them. Sometimes small, sometimes big. And the who am I questions that we all talked about, and there are more also. But the big question is, in this moment, how do I respond to those questions? And what is the right framing to do? So in that way, this is Arjuna, the skilled warrior, but it could be any one of us. This is my caricature. But all of us are that only, no? Not a dramatic breakdown, but Gita is written for all Arjuns, all Pranavs, everyone. So this doll, I call it the doing person. All of us. The person that in Sanskrit called Karta, the one who does. And this is identified by a name. I have a name, Pranav. It's identified by an age, body type, complexion, gender. It also has a role to play in the society, whatever it is. A job, a family structure, friends, relationships. And this doing person is all of us, is this unique arrangement of this body which is of 5 elements. But all of us are 5 elements just combined in different ways. And this body has a very interesting way to separate me from all of you. That creates that difference. And the interesting thing about this body is that it's seen by everyone. I'm sitting like this. You can all see me. The question of how do I look is all in this doing body only. I like to think of it as this is the mask we wear in the world. This is how we are identified in the world with this mask. It also has a personality, everybody is different. Some is introverted, some is extroverted. It has a posture type, it has an energy expression, it has a voice cadence. It is a movement style. Everybody has it. Nothing earth shattering so far. Doing person, all of these qualities. The unique thing about this doing person is also it changes. Like that soul cycle over there. We're born, age, mature a little bit, hit a maturity, then we start decaying, and sadly, at one point in time, we all have to go. Gita has a way to talk about these things in a very direct way. From Gita's perspective, though, the purpose, the sole purpose of this doing person, no, where we're all obsessed about how do I look and all, no. Krishna says, no, no, those are not important questions. The question is, what do we do with this doing person? The sole purpose of this doing person is action, karma. Hands, legs, ears, eyes, whatever. It's all the tools of this doing person, doing karma action in the world. And action is not like those big projects we do in life. Somebody wants to create a $1 billion business. No, 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 no. That's not what Krishna is talking about when it comes to action. He's talking about micro actions. Walking, talking, sitting. Even there's this verse in which it says even blinking is an action. All the big projects we ultimately do in life are all composed of these small micro actions, isn't it? How do we, those smaller actions ultimately will, how we'll do those big actions also. Karma action. Very famous verse 2.54 in Bhagavad Gita, he says, Arjun asks Krishna, Sthit pragyasya ka bhasha, kim prabhashet, kim asit, kim vrajet. It means like a man who is in steady wisdom, how does he talk? How does he walk? How does he sit? All here, doing person. Karma action, that's what this doing person is supposed to do. That's it. Vanity of body and all are not part of Krishna's philosophical world. Any sharing so far before I move further? All obvious things, I just kind of like, putting a frame around that. But if metaphorically I was to take this doing person, which is seen by everyone, and I were to look inside, who will I find inside? If I were to open this doing person, who will I find inside? The soul Atman. You're a little bit ahead of me. That's doing person only. The? Yes, ma'am. So, more technically, I call it the experiencing person. The little person sitting inside of us that is only talking to me. The experiencing person. All our life is just an experience, isn't it? Like a moving roll of a movie. Just passing, 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 passing. It is also the home of ego. That constant awareness that I am Pranav. I'm Electra. I'm Karan. I'm Yuko. All of this is that background awareness we constantly walk around with, which is also the big inner world of thoughts, feelings, and emotions. All of that is in here only. And this experiencing person through his thoughts, feelings, emotions also changing all the time. The home of duality. We're showing it with the mask here, the happy mask and a face, sad mask. Our emotions, thoughts are all that only, sometimes good, sometimes bad. Sometimes cold, sometimes hot, pleasure, pain, love, fear. Dualities, opposites, constantly moving about within our system, our experience all the time. And as I said, that this is only seen by me and no one knows how I'm feeling right now, in this moment. Just a constant flow of experience. The unique thing about this person, doing person, is also that ये मुझे ही दिखता है बस, चेंज भी होता है, it always changes and it's only seen by me. From Gita's perspective though, as ma'am you said, this is where mind sits. Mind as in ego, memory, intellect, and just the central processing unit called mind that processes everything that we see, senses. Look closely in here. We just shown it with like a mind and these five senses that we walk around like antennas in the world, processing, gathering information and processing it. It is also the home of bhakti, love within me. The chart over there, dhyana and bhakti, is the experiencing person. And a beautiful framework that Gita has is that of gun, the quality of experience. It's like a inner heat map that we all have. Rajas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Sattva is an experience that is uplifting, wholesome. Rajas is an experience that is marked by action, restlessness. Tamas, an experience that is of ignorance, darkness, inertia, whatever. Like, I'm not feeling good. Depression, fear, whatever. Rajas is, I got to do something in life. Sattva is like, it's okay, it's so good. That's all experience is good. And it also, just like this guy had a personality, the doing person, the experiencing person also has a personality, no? It what shaped our view on the world, how we look at the world. It's the home of our stories. We tell ourselves, our narratives. And this, all of us have a unique cognitive style, thinking style, emotional style. All of that is part of this personality of the experiencing person. So Gita's perspective, this is the home of duality, this is the home of dhyana, mind, this is the home of bhakti, love, and the home of experience. And importantly, home of ego, I am X. Good? So, what if I were to open this experiencing person now? So we've done 2 dolls now. So you already know there will be 7. Huh? Yes, sir. So, if we open this up, I think you were saying, no, the soul person. Jivatma in Sanskrit. In Sanskrit, this is the Karta, this is the Bhokta, this is the Jivatman. We've shown it as a prisoner in here because philosophically, this is the home of bondage. Heavy word again, Krishna uses heavy words. Bondage to what? Let's look at that chart over there. Has a unique fingerprint. All of us are carrying around on this soul a unique fingerprint that makes us our own. Karmic impressions, whatever we have accumulated in this life and previous lives. This is the home of our triggers. Not only triggers, good and bad. Triggers is not necessarily a bad thing. You see a beautiful flower, you're triggered to really smell it and appreciate it. It's also the home of everything that this person karma. Now karma has 2 parts, action and consequence. The doing person is doing the action, and how that action is internalized is in this karam phala, fruits of our action. There's a karma we are doing outside, building, let's say, a project in the world, but we are also building something inside with that action. How the action we do in the world, how it is transforming us from inside, is what Krishna is more interested in. Us versus us. That seed that you see in that artwork, jnana and karma, is the home of all the desires that we have. I want this, that is the embedded, or what I call like the encrypted karma that we are walking around. Modern psychology would call it subconscious. Something that is sitting inside of me that even I don't know, that is pulling the strings of the experiencing person and is pulling the strings of this doing person. It's different for all of us. What I carry is different than what all of you carry. What makes us different? Our souls, what makes us different. But the tricky thing about this person is that it sits inside of me, but I don't even have access to it, to my subconscious. I can only infer it from these two persons, the experiencing person, the doing person. All the healing we talk about is only here through Ashtanga yoga or pranayam or karma yoga, selfless service, is all to find out who this person is. And this person is what's born again and again to clean out that bondage that we are having. This is the reason why Krishna says, right, that death is just a change of clothes, just these two bodies come and go. But this will be the reason why we'll be born in new bodies and new minds. Jivatman also has a personality, just like these two dolls have a personality. This one also has a personality. Our beliefs are here. Our character is here. Chapter 16, Deva Asur Sampad Yoga, where he says there are literally two people sitting inside of us within this Jivatman on opposite spectrum, the devil and the saint. Our virtues and our vices. See, modern psychology, and that's one of my little peeves with that. It frames these things like trauma this, trauma that, I've been hurt and this and that in a very negative way. Well, that is true, but this is also where our biggest gifts are. Our virtues are here. So from Gita's perspective, this is who we really need to investigate before we even go further in our spiritual journey. The soul person. Okay. Good. 3 dolls now. The doing person, the one who does action, karma, the experiencing person, who does dhyana, mind and bhakti, and the subconscious beyond my own experience also, but a joker sitting inside of me pulling my strings. Now things become interesting. What if, before I go further, the opposite of this person in bondage is this person who's enlightened, who's gone beyond their base desires and their base patterns. They won them over. Now they live free. And the goal is to be this. In this life, hopefully. Or then we'll have to come back again and again. My Swami likes to tell this story. Right? Some Christian said that I'm a born again Christian. And the Hindu says, I'm a born again and again and again and again Hindu. So this is the cycle that we are all, that soul cycle. Now, what if I were to open this person? What will I find? Fourth doll. This is my favorite part. Huh? Yes, yes, yes. Do you want to guess? Very good. Atman. So this was Jivatman. This is Paramatman, Atman, consciousness. Pure consciousness. Chit. Om is its symbol in Hinduism. When we say Om before every chant, we're calling this person out. And this one is the pure witness. It's the one. I started off with we doing Advaita of Shankaracharya. This is that one in all of us. This is one that makes us all the same here. However many we are, I don't know, 15, 20. These three bodies are different in all of us. But this is the one that connects us all. And this is the real I, according to Krishna. This is who you are. In the question, who am I? This is that who am I, that all of us are masquerading and running around in these three bodies, confused. This is what Krishna says, it's the light of all lights. It is what gives sentience, it is what gives consciousness, it is what gives awareness to all these three bodies. Without this consciousness, they would not exist. This is the eternal, the unborn, the never dying. Beyond space, within space, within all of us. Chitta, consciousness. One way to look at it is like this metaphor of electricity. There's one electricity running through all this wiring. You plug that strobe light, it becomes one thing. You plug a fan, it becomes another thing. You plug a laptop, it becomes like the same manifestation of that one electricity only, no? Showing up in all of these bodies in different ways. There are huge philosophical, if this is the first time you're hearing it and you'll say, oh, what's the big deal about it? Because that's what I felt when I first heard it. But once we really believe this and once we are really seeing that one in everyone, then all our problems become smaller in life actually. We see everybody is not disconnected from us. Very famous verses in Gita, like, he is the wise who sees themselves in everyone and everyone in themselves. So this Atman, this witness, this pure experience, the pure subject. These are all objects to this pure subject, which is self-aware, consciousness, chitta. So what this Arjun that we thought was this one innocent doing person, this Pranav, is actually a more complicated person than just like, showing up in this world. There's an inner world, and there's beyond that inner world, there is something that is pulling the strings. And beyond that, there's also one more person, the one. This is moksha. When we say freedom, it is knowing in our bones that this is all is one. This is liberation. Finding this doll and just knowing that you are here. Many metaphors Krishna uses, calls it the home. This is the home of everyone. Yes, sir.
The fourth one different from enlightenment.
Ah. So, this is quote unquote formless, unmanifested. It itself doesn't do anything. As I said, like it's just a pure witness, pure subject. It's just that light that has nothing to reflect back on. So even if we look at the space, no, there's light there also, but there's darkness there because there's nothing to reflect back on. So this consciousness, which itself doesn't do anything, needs a body to reflect itself. And if there is someone who is completely, for lack of a better word, conquered themselves, this consciousness, Krishna says, it shines like a light. Same consciousness in all the three bodies, but this light needs something to reflect back. This doesn't so if we look at this person, this is seen by everyone. This is seen only to me. This is sitting inside me but also not seen to me. This is even one level below unmanifest squared. I can only be it. So this is the doing person, this is the being person. I am. I am Pranav. I am Ajay. I am Puneet. What is the common in these three statements? I am, no? I am. So this is the I am. I put a label on it and I say I am Pranav. I become smaller. This is the infinite. Never born, never dying, eternal, as I said earlier. Once I know I am just this beingness. It takes a lot of effort to get there, not that I've gotten there. But this is what this is, the whole spiritual progress. The ultimate spiritual who am I question is this. And once we have that question, everything else falls apart, no? What is there to... Our differences come from envy, jealousness, not feeling that I have this and somebody else has this, no?
And in order to reach that fourth doll, you need to pass through all the dolls?
Ah. So there are two ways to get there. This would be the path of yoga. I mean, everything is path of yoga only. But so you can do it through, yes, you have to pass through all these dolls. And it's not like you have to do anything to be this, first of all. You are this only. Who is under some illusion that you are this? To dispel that illusion is where Karma Yoga comes, selfless service comes. Bhakti, Dhyana Yoga comes, Jnana Yoga comes. Is to literally you must have heard of this expression Chitta Shuddhi. Chitta Shuddhi is this only. Once you do that, Krishna says you don't have to do anything. This will shine automatically inside of you. It's choiceless because that's who you are. But there's layers of the metaphor he uses is just like a dust covers a mirror. You have to see your face clearly, you have to polish that mirror, no? So that is polishing the mirror path. A lot of philosophical people will go and say, hey, I don't want to do this work, why can't I just go there? That was Arjun's question 3 times in Bhagavad Gita. Once chapter 2 ends and he says, fight Arjun, fight. You are the Atman, you never die. All these people that you will kill will not die, don't worry about it. Chapter 3, first question, Krishna Arjun says, you're asking me to kill all these people, why can't I just run away and just follow this philosophical path? No. Ignore these bits and just go directly here. Chapter 5 also he asks the same question in a different way. You want me to become, you are telling me I am the enlightened one, why am I killing? Just go directly here, no? 18th chapter starts off also like that. Tyaga and sannyasa, what are the two paths? So this is the thing that we will talk more deeply in other sessions, like, deeper questions, but these are all within the amazing question you asked, just like Arjun asks many. It's a very hard question to really internalize. So 4 dolls, the being person, the soul person, the experiencing person, and the doing person. Anything to share, reflect, questions?
That through divine grace, can't you jump those 2 laws?
Ha. So grace, how do you get divine grace? So grace in Sanskrit means kripa. And that has 2 roots to it, kri and pa. Kri means to do, pa means to get. So we cannot expect just getting a blessing just like that, no? Going to a mandir and saying, okay, give me this. Going to a guru and saying, give me this. It's not going to come like that. Kripa only comes when we do first. And what we do is, there are many paths. There's not just one path. Bhakti is a completely, some people get here just by bhakti only. We have so many examples in Hinduism. Some people like Vivekananda and all, their primary job is karma yogis. Some people go through the path of meditation. All of that is part of that divine grace only, no? But first we have to do the work ourselves. Then the divine grace will flow, no? We've covered a lot of ground already.
I also see this, the thing about the divine grace flowing, as you said about working on oneself. So if I am a clean channel or a clean vessel, then only it can flow. Or we can, in other words, I see it as tuning into that frequency, which in other words, we call it as grace.
Absolutely. Sri Ramakrishna says the vessel should be ready to accept it. He says the grace is always flowing. The divine grace is always flowing in our life, in us. But we have to take that, if our body was like this, if we were this boatman on a river, then we have to turn our sails towards that divine grace. And then we will flow with the magic of that grace only, no? But that kripa is turning that sail towards that grace that is always flowing. The vessel has to be ready. Any other? Yes, Karan.
What happens to the Jivatman and Atman when you die?
So this dude never dies. is eternal. This one also doesn't die. It's slow changing death, if you know, towards enlightenment. So this will, once you get enlightened, this automatically dissolves into this one. Till then, the circus goes on.
Is it also like similar to like Buddhism, like when you die and then you will, whatever state you die, you carry the same state to the next consciousness when you are reborn, the physical body.
Yes, so these are the bags we carry lifetime to lifetime. Karmic impressions, karmic bondage. There's a big difference. Actually, it appears like a big difference, but it isn't. But Buddhism's version would be that this is shunyam, void. Hinduism version is this is purnam, full. So that's the difference between these two. This is beginningless and endless. This is beginningless but can be ended. This technical difference in the two.
So you mentioned that's beginningless, but if I understand the concept, so the last doll, which is the what you mentioned with Atman, so that's like forever existing, it's always there, it doesn't die. And I thought that the second doll, the soul, that's from this side, second doll, the soul doll, yes, it comes from the first doll, and it somehow manifests itself in a different forms, and then it becomes a soul doll, and then of course an experience doll, a kata doll. So there is a beginning from that. The other doll came to this doll. Huh?
You're jumping ahead to one of those sessions over there. We can, let me try to give a quick answer to that, and then we'll talk about that in that bigger session. Like, why? Why, like, if, I mean, my problems are not here. This is pure joy, infinite, this thing. My problems are here. Why somebody with no problems suddenly decided to have problems if this is who I am? Right. So there are many answers to it. One is karma, the other answer is the universe wants to play through us. But there is definitely a dance happening over there, which will come to that in that next session. The Purusha and Prakriti chart. Purusha and Prakriti and the Prakriti chart, those two, and there's one more chart that I have to create between now and when we have that session. So, where did these dolls come from? Because, as I said, this doll is, it's never born, never dies. Science says matter leads to consciousness. Their definition of consciousness is this awareness, thoughts. This consciousness is not thoughts. Hinduism says consciousness comes first, matter comes next. Science says matter comes first and quote unquote consciousness comes next, but that's not the same consciousness. That is just awareness, conditioned awareness. Puneet?
Yeah, so I was just trying to frame my question from some time. So, based on these four dolls, if I compare it with the life of Siddhartha, the king of India, so when he was still 18 years old, he was in doll 1, when he was just experiencing his life as a king. So he was stage 1. So that's a question. And once he saw those three incidents happened in his life, when he sees a dead body, when he sees someone ill, when he sees someone poor, that's his experience of doll 2. And after he goes on his, his what do you call it, meditation and life of understanding what life is, he reaches doll 3. The enlightenment is doll 3. When he gets that enlightenment in Bodhi tree, that is doll 3. That's my question. Am I comparing it right? Because that is how I was trying to understand all the while when you started with the And how do I compare the doll 3 where Buddha got his enlightenment under the Bodhi tree with doll 4? Is doll 4 the enlightenment he got?
So we all go through that experience in our life, no? When we believe in a certain worldview, and then we realize that's not so. So Buddha had this very privileged life. A king as a job, future king as a job, all the good experiences in life being provided for. No problems in life, no. How does he know if he's in bondage or if he's enlightened? He's not seen enough yet, no. These two are always he's experiencing. So it's not like he first started from here and then he went there. These two are always part of every individual's experience all the time. But he thought life was just a happy-go-lucky journey and everybody's life is like that till he saw that everything is changing. It's transient. It moves. This beautiful life I'm enjoying right now, first time like the story goes like he first time goes out of the kingdom and then he sees, oh my God, there are people who are getting sick, old and dying. And that is when he starts questioning. Not everything is what I thought it was. And his karmic impressions were of a very noble one from previous lives where he started actually going much deeper into those questions of transience, temporal nature of things. Most of us have experienced that. Sickness, old age, death of a loved one. But we don't question that, no? But Siddhartha was special because he questioned that. The truth is we are all this, he discovers, right? Through Shunyam.
So those 3 experiences were part of doll 2 which transited him to doll 3. Enlightened him.
These 3 dolls just are there. You don't if we have the question in ourselves, and they're always there within us. So it's not like he discovered that I am Puneet is not something you discover, no. I am Siddhartha is not something he was discovering, no. It was there all the time with him. What he discovered was that it's changing. Does that answer? Okay, so moving on. So who we thought was this Arjun is actually a little bit more complicated person. There's a being person, the Atman consciousness, then there's the soul person, and that soul person is sitting inside the experiencing person, and then there is the outer body, the doing person. This is all of us.
Are you saying that soul and Atman are not the same?
They are not.
Because in the dictionary, just a translation of it, soul means Atman.
So soul is, according to Upanishads, Jivatman. Atman in a Jiva form or an individualized self. Paramatma is transcending Jivatman, which is one consciousness. So it is that one infinite becoming a little thingy, a soul. Now this Arjun sitting inside three more dolls inside of him, he's not living in a vacuum. None of us are living in a vacuum. No, there was just an inner journey into Arjun. But this Arjun and all the Arjuns and the Pranavs in the world and everybody in this world is sitting inside another big doll. I call it the Maya person. You can call it creation. You know, when you look outside this world and where it come from and you know what those kind of questions. No, Maya. Maya, there's a Brahma, is the creator god in Krishna. He's the one who creates this Maya, the world. Vishnu gives him and wakes up from cosmic deep sleep and he says, create this world for me, Brahma. He has his four faces looking in all four directions. But Maya is this creation that we all are in, this bigger bubble we are in. In fact, it would sound sacrilege, but anybody who is not me, anybody who is not Arjun, from Arjun's perspective is all Maya. I'm sitting here, all of you are Maya for me. Our family is Maya. Society is Maya. Job is Maya. Everything is Maya. Mythologically, it's also called Devi, Shakti. Philosophically, it is the illusion, projection, matrix, simulation. It's all of that. Maya. So all the Arjuns are sitting inside another big doll called Maya. This is our doll 5. So this is society here. Chapter 15 starts off, there is this tree of Maya. That's a different session, but it talks about this metaphor of an upside down tree of Maya. And this bird humans you see in the yellow color are all the human souls sitting on that tree of Maya at different elevations. So much bigger discussion. We'll take it in the next one of the sessions that are coming up. Maya, what is Maya? What is the nature of Maya? Where did it come from? Why Maya? How do I experience Maya? Short answer is transience and cycles, and as Puneet was saying, Buddha discovered transience, change. Philosophically, Maya, space, time and karma. Our life is space and time. This is space. Time is how we experience our life, go, birth, death, whatever. It's all life. Space, time. There's an unseen karma also. That is also Maya. Yes, Karan?
Just maybe just to remove my confusion. So you mentioned space, like us, as in what you refer to as Arjun, and then we all are a part of the Maya. We're sitting inside Maya, or we're sitting big God. But that for me results saying, okay, there is I, or there is this doer, or this person, and there is this Maya, and I'm a part of the Maya, or I'm inside Maya. But isn't that my experience of what I'm experiencing creates that Maya? Rather than I'm inside the Maya, there's another entity Maya, there's me, and I'm part of Maya, but rather than how I experience everything is actually becoming that entity Maya. So like, it's not like I'm in it, but it's just that everything is based on how I experience it, and that creates that Maya around me or whatever within me.
Absolutely. So if you look at the nature of these dolls, right? So Maya is not only that's outside. Maya is also inside me. So the quick rule of thumb about what Maya is, no? Anything that changes is Maya. The world outside changes. It's Maya. My thoughts inside me change. That is also Maya. And if you look at the construct of our dolls, no, the thoughts wala doll is also in this Maya, in this another layered self. So usually we understand Maya as what is outside, but there is a Maya inside of us. Anything that changes is Maya. So you asked a very deep question there. So it's not only outside, inside, anything that changes. This last doll does not change. That is outside Maya. Soul is in Maya. Experiencing person is in Maya. Doing person is in Maya. The universe is in the Maya.
Which is connected to what you were saying about death, no? So everything that is perishable then is Maya, no? Is connected with Maya. Only the last, which is infinite, is not Maya.
Absolutely. So far, like the 4 dolls are Maya dolls except one, which is the being doll, being person, Atman.
I have this question then. If it's that, then why even Maya? Why Maya? Like, why even create then? Just why creation?
So
Why
that
is
was
Maya needed?
so that's the question that I think Karan also asked a little bit back, which will be
Covered.
yeah. So Prakriti is Maya, matter that you see. Purusha and Prakriti on that chart you see. Purusha is just pure consciousness that is outside of Maya. Sometime, and then it has a partnership. Krishna says the consciousness sits in the matter. Why does it sit in the matter is your question. And first of all, it cannot be answered definitively. There are theories. The karma theories is one of them. Like we have past karma and that's why we create this Maya. And the more storytelling answer is that the universe wants to play. The being person, the light itself has nothing to shine back on. It gets bored. It needs conflict. Like if you go and watch a movie, if there's no conflict, you know, and you're not going to enjoy the movie, no? If everything is bad, then you'll check out. If everything is good, then also you'll check out. So Maya is the tool by which we check in or we stay checked in. So as I said, space, time and karma. Philosophically, this is the tool of Maya, the machine of Maya, the lever of Maya. Space and time we can experience. Go from Mysore to Bangalore, there is a change in space. We're sitting here for however long, that is experience of time. But what we are building here, both outside and inside, is karma. That's also in Maya. So that karma is why we go on. Krishna says this, right? That chapter 18 towards the end, he says, I sit in all the hearts. God sits in all the hearts. But people go round and round and round on this carousel called Maya. Once we decide we want to step away from the carousel and decide it's enough, that's when true change starts happening. Until then, it's just the same repeated patterns in different space and different time. Okay, so 5 dolls done. The Maya person, the doing person, the experiencing person, the soul person, and the being person, Atman. What is Maya sitting inside of? Krishna, the God person. Krishna has a very beautiful arc in Mahabharata and Gita. He starts off with Arjun's friend and relative, becomes his charioteer. Then our friend Arjun starts struggling and he has to step as a teacher. After to and fro with Arjun, he says, enough, dude, let me tell you, I'm Avatar. I'm reincarnated, yada yada hi dharmasya, I'm God. And then Arjun says, all right, after like 10 chapters of Krishna, like especially 3, 7, 8 and 9, 10, 4 chapters, Krishna is talking about his Godhead. Arjun says, okay, I hear you, you're God, now show me your God. You're not being very humble by talking about yourself all the time. I want to experience your Godness. And then he shows him this cosmic form where whole of Maya is inside of him. Dwarki sir has drawn this beautiful artwork. If you have the time, please spend some time in here on this one. There's some interesting things happening within these details here. And we have all imagined it from chapter 11 of Bhagavad Gita. So whatever you see here is how we have imagined different verses in chapter 11 of Bhagavad Gita, Vishwarup Darshan Yoga. So the Maya sits inside the God person. This is the God of Gita is Krishna. Shaivites is another sort of like sect we have in Hinduism. Their God, ultimate God would be Shiva and then Maya would be Shakti. But for Upanishads and Vedanta and Bhagavad Gita, the God is Krishna. The God person. Who's got Maya inside, and by definition everything that is inside is also in that God person. The God has form and we've endowed it with all these qualities that it's omnipotent, omni-known and omni-loving and omni-merciful and omni like all-knowing, all. We've endowed him with like we all go, no, God is this and God is that and God. Then we have these questions, if God is all this, then why do I suffer? Different philosophical question, but. So this is the God person, Krishna. God with form.
Excuse me, sir, and this is not the same of the Atman, the very tiny one, the first?
Hold on to that question, because Krishna says in chapter 10, I am the Atman. I am the consciousness sitting inside of all the hearts. But which consciousness is he talking about? We'll come to that in a second. Hold on to your question later.
That's the seventh God.
Yes.
This is also Om, if you see. There are only two dolls that don't have a face. The one on this end, Om was its symbol, the smallest one, inside. This is the other one, the same one but beyond even God. This is the God with form. This is the God without form. Hinduism, Sat. That was Chit. Consciousness. This is existence, Sat. That was I am. This is. This is existence. Same sides of two coins. One is inside, the other one is outside.
Microcosm.
Exactly. Inside and outside. It'll come together in a second. Just hold on with that a little bit more. Sat, Chit, existence, consciousness. Famous Mahavakyas in Upanishads, Tattvamasi. I don't know if you know about it or not. Who knows Tattvamasi? This is Tat. That was Tvam. Aham Brahmasmi. That was Aham. This is Brahm. Brahman, being person again. There's Asmi missing and there's Asi missing. We'll come to that in a second. That will answer what you're saying. But as I said, just like that consciousness, Atman, which doesn't do anything, it is a pure experiencer, pure subject. This is also pure subject. It doesn't do anything. Because it doesn't do anything, it has to create a form. So I look at Krishna as the spokesperson for this one Brahman who cannot do anything or speak to us. Does it make sense? This light and this existence itself doesn't do anything, it just is. It's just the beingness itself. To manifest itself, to express itself, it expresses itself through this.
Which is a form that is not really defined by our kind of form, like space and time. It's another kind of form.
Absolutely. The space and time were here in Maya. This is sitting outside that.
What do you mean by form then?
Form, you are a form. I can imagine you like I'm seeing you with my eyes. My mind is seeing you through my eye and understanding the shape of you. A good example of that would be this table. This table is made of wood. Wood. Door is made of what else is made of wood here? That table, other table over there. Made of what? Wood. There's a drum over there. Now, if I break this door, is it still a door? What is it? If I break this table, is it still a table? What is it? Wood. Our mind says this is a table. But is it really a table? It's probably more accurate to say it's wood that has been shaped into a table. But that's the next level of seeing we have to do. To not see it as a table, but it as a wood. This is isness. The wood is. That was, I said, amness, electricity. One electricity through all these appliances. So, our friend Krishna goes into this formless doll, Brahman, being person, Sat existence, Advaita, one, Shankara's. The one from which the God person comes. The Maya person comes from the God person. All the Arjuns and Pranavs in the world come. All the experiencing bodies in this world come. All the different souls come. Then going back into that one. Now what is this? This is also one and this is also one. This is the one within us, this is one outside of us.
different. They're not different.
They are not different. It's just an illusion, it's just an appearance. So, if this has to make sense, then yes, they are all nested within each other in this beautiful structure that is self-evident, apparently on investigation. But for this to make sense, if it's all one, then this is one and this is one, they have to be sitting next to each other also. In this circle, Asmi. Tat. Tvam. Asi. Harmony. Definition of how I understand Krishna is saying what yoga is. The alignment between what is inside of us. This has to go here. Yoga, the alignment of what is inside of us with what is outside of us. Harmony, balance, yoga. Where what we see inside of us, what we feel inside us is not different from what is outside of us. Advaita. Tat tvam asi. Aham brahmasmi. Sat. Chit. Ananda. The being person of existence, the being person of consciousness, and the being person, all of these together, if this is a rounded circle in our lives. For an enlightened person, what is inside and what's outside is the same. Krishna says, no, you can be a friend and you can be enemy. You look at all of them the same. So, the goal of yoga is actually finding that harmony. Karan was asking, is that the only way to go there? Right, Karan? The other way is to go through the world, which is a much harder thing to do because we cannot change the world. Things will happen in the world, but the only thing we can change is how we respond to it. How we respond to that which is in this cosmic harmony, this cosmic alignment is yoga. So, this is the song of 7 dolls. Advaita Vedanta. Now, every philosophy, be it Indic, be it Western, every psychology, these 4 dolls are the psychology of Bhagavad Gita. These 3 dolls are the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita in my mind is a complete text that brings in both philosophy and psychology. And in that sense, I feel every Western, Indic, philosophy, psychology, all religions, everything can somehow be articulated with these 7 dolls. Some will believe in some dolls and some will not believe in some other dolls. Some will believe in law of karma, others will not believe in law of karma. They will say, oh, this is born only once and there is a judgment day. But then, this is how we can have a more open conversation and discussion where we, instead of fighting over each other, You can have a more honest conversation and say, okay, this is what my system says, what does your system say? What time is it right now? Oh, wow. Okay, so now it's your time. I'm done with my talking, showing you what I have. The next few sessions will be going through. So I think Electra was asking, or she was responding, like, the next question will be, what are these dolls made up of and where do they come from? All these charts that we have, those over the next series of questions will understand, okay, these are these dolls, but what are they made up of? Purusha and Prakriti. How do you get animation? Gun. What happens once they get animation? Like the game of life begins, karma. All the questions about the world, Maya, God, and all are more deeper questions that are all coming from these dolls only.
And can you remind us of the schedule? Is it
Every day from now till 28th, 6:30 to 7:30, and I'm happy to stay here as long as you guys are willing. So 7:30 is when we didn't want to tell people it's a 2 hour session. People don't want to come for 2 hour sessions late in the night, but I mean, I think it's fun.
fun?
I mean, these are like, now we can ask, like, if I did a good job, then I hope there are more questions, in fact. But hopefully better questions than we had earlier.
In certain books that I've read, Krishna says, if you keep continuously thinking about me, you will get motion. How true is it?
So that's the part of bhakti. So, what happens when we are constantly thinking about God? One of the reasons Krishna, this is also our lived experiences, when we think too much about ourselves, no, my problems, my worries, my body, my this, my that, we become more smaller and smaller and smaller. Mind fighting with with itself. But then the psychological trick is, how can we take that I am, the small I am Pranav, to I am nothing, I'm God, or not I'm God, but let me, in that bhakti chart, right? Let me surrender to it. I'll think less about me, but think about God more. The trick in all of these dolls is, especially in these three dolls, is ego. What kind of ego? Ego is identification only, na? Who am I? I'm identifying with this body. The problems of the body will be my problems. I'm identifying with the mind. The problem of the mind will become my problems. I identify with the God. I make my ego smaller. My problem will become smaller too. I identify with the consciousness. I'm God only. Make sense? It's a psychological, bhakti is a psychological tool to dissolve our little ego. More questions, please. Yes. What's your name, ma'am? Ritika.
Kritika.
Kritika.
Yeah. So, where I often struggle is that the the last three dolls, the last three, or
These three?
no, the last,
Philosophy.
yeah, or let's say the last two, and I mean the two dolls on the extreme sides, both two.
These two?
Yeah, the Om, the Krishna, and the smallest and the smaller one. So Atman and four of them.
Oh, this one also.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So even if I kind of realize and understand that okay, this is who I am and the play of the microcosm and the macrocosm, the struggle often happens between the middle three dolls, the Maya, the doer, and the one who is experiencing. For example, if I have experienced that, okay, I'm soul and everything, I'll be soul. I would not want anything. That, I would not probably earn anything. I would not do a certain thing to be able to earn, to be able to stay in a manasthala place like this, which comes with a certain cost. You know what I'm trying to say? So
No, I know what you're trying to say.
integrating and aligning while I experience the extreme two dolls and yet being able to exist in this Maya sometimes kind of bothers me a lot.
So, the good thing is that you're not the only one bothered by it. Arjun is bothered by it a lot. That's why I said,
Yeah, I mean,
that's
and I
why
wasn't,
it's a question that is asked 3 times by him.
I think the matter of knowing something, the matter of being something else, I mean, it's our journey. First, it starts as the same, questioning. Okay, we explore inside, outside. But I mean, sometimes it's like that you know it, but you can't be it. I mean, okay, for me it happens. Sometimes I think, okay, that's the answer. Then why you can't be that? But I understand that's my journey. I started my journey and liar by liar, I mean, I understand, okay, you shouldn't expect that by knowing something you become that. If it's not like that, then I think there were no, I mean, human beings, I don't know, this journey or all these things.
Yes. So, I think what you're saying is there's knowing, which is an intellectual knowing.
Yeah, because mind is so complicated. We think that, okay, we know it, but I mean, again, it's our thoughts, it's our mind. I mean, I think our, how can I say, our responsibility, our journey is not this.
So, one is the intellectual knowing. The mind can say, like, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah, sometimes I see people myself also. I just searching, seeking. I don't do. For example, I'm seeking for different kind of meditation, but I don't sit and do meditation for 2, 3, 4 hours a day, pranayama, whatever. I think we should just simply do it. Sit, meditate. Even the seamless thing. I think exactly the thing is that the seamless thing are the things that we needed, and we just forgot about it and go for other things.
I think you are right. So, there is a information knowledge. You read a book and you think you know something. That is one kind of knowledge. But when that knowledge becomes so integrated within us that we live it, it's no longer bookish intellectual knowledge, then that becomes being. Somebody says, I am Pranav, I don't have to think about it, no? It's so well integrated in me. And Kritika, to coming back to your question, as I said, Arjun asked the same question. I have bills to pay, dude. You telling me I'm this being person, but just that being person is not going to pay my manasthala bills, no? That's where karma comes. Action. Because this world of Maya, no? It needs gas, petrol.
And how we as humans kind of put a certain price on this square of thing and call that this is mine, and then kind of upgrade it. Next year it will rise because of inflation and all of those things. And yet the soul remains the same.
So, see, these things that we invent, know that I need this much amount of money, I need this much amount of investments to grow, I need this much amount of this thing to do, then I will be happy. These two dolls don't need that, no? So that means it's still an intellectual understanding. It's still an intellectual knowing.
But can I just
But when
I want to add to that. It's a very I echo exactly what you're saying, because there are times in this journey where vairagya comes and you But what I want to say to you is that we are also here to play. So to me, that's a play, you know. So we have to play in this Maya, right? Swim in it too, right? We can, and that for that I do need my ego, myself at one go. Without that, I don't think I can play, right? With that, I'll be just like I'm done.
Gita doesn't, this is where Gita becomes a little like, could be misunderstood. Gita is not saying, Arjun, run away, follow your spiritual thing, don't do your duty. You still have to live in the world. Still have to do your duty. But how do we spiritualize that?
And how do we choose? That's my major question. How do we choose
Okay,
what to
see you
do?
tomorrow. Yeah, my brain is fried.
No, take your time, yes. And then we'll talk more tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do me one more thing, no? Please, if you don't mind. There is that Instagram barcode. If there's nothing on it, but join whatever you need to do.
With pleasure. I'll see you tomorrow anyway.
Thank you.
Everyone.
I think, yeah, we can end it now.
Yeah, interesting.
Thank you.
I'm hungry. I need to go eat.
Yes.
It's that weird time, 6:30, no? But
That's too early to eat. Then for me, at least now it's too late. So it's like.
thanks for your questions,
Thank
Karan.
you so much. Then I see you tomorrow.
Yes. Tejas, how? Second version, huh?
Yeah.
Tomorrow
The
come.
next class.
I can
Next
get
session.
friends. Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Get your friends. We'll do all of this.